We are back in session after a short break. Let's proceed on. Mr. Daugherty has got a motion on the floor.
Mr. Chairman, if we might, if we would hold off on voting on my motion until a later time, later.
His motion was to authorize the chairman to sign the contract after I had tried to renegotiate the bond, performance bond. My recommendation before you broke was I'm going to recommend that you do not adjourn this meeting, but that you recess it until 5 o'clock on Thursday afternoon, and that let me report to you what my negotiation has been, as opposed to your just leaving it up to me. I'd like you to know what I've been able to do.
Thank you.
And thereby, I'd like to withhold the vote on it until after we hear back from council.
Okay, that's what we'll do. Next item, if we have one, does anyone else have anything?
Board of Commissioners, comments?
Right on my agenda, I know what to do. Board of Commissioners comments, Mr. Bell?
I only have a recommendation, if I could. Remember I passed out a little paper this morning about $576,000. I was just wondering if we shouldn't have Mr. Parker, since the time is running out, to check with the attorney over at Eastern Region, and also Sylvia, to find out what do we need to do to get that money. Mr. Chairman, what do you think about that?
It's gonna run out, what, the end of February?
Well,
I mean, first,
It has to be applied for by the end of February.
What they're saying is, and I believe what Mr. Chaffee said when he was before you, is that because of the time it would take to get it processed, that they would need to be able to do it,
By the end of February.
but to have it to them in February.
I'm also in touch with Jim Cawley, John and I on the Eastern Region Board, and I'm also in touch with Jim Cawley about this money, along with the possibility, if we wanted to borrow money that another county doesn't use. So,
I think the other counties are all taking their monies.
have you checked with him, sir?
Well, it was getting pretty slim.
Okay.
It's, all the counties, from what I've been told, are taking the money that is theirs,
Right,
that is
yes.
there. But I do not think that all the counties have said they definitely want to borrow about $500,000 at
The
the
state,
1%.
yeah, the state allocation, I don't think very many of them are taking it. And so, it's a possibility we might be able, if we wanted to, I'm just saying wanted to, maybe get more than what, the 576.
If that rate, we ought to get all we can get.
Be right.
can you take care of that, Mr. Parker?
Yes, sir, I will.
Is that all, Mr. Bell? Mr. Pate?
Just one comment. I think the commissioner room really looks good after the renovations, but I sure wish we could figure out a way to cut those lights down just a little
No,
bit.
leave them lights alone.
They're about to blind me. I think I'm getting a tan. Get it, take away your light over there. They can see you well now. We can put you back over here. I'm sorry. I'm through.
Mr. Kamari?
Well, I would just like to thank the Mel and Gurley and Bryant for coming in this morning and providing us with a wealth of information. And just tell you that we thank the hard work, thank you for the hard work you're doing, and know that you will look hard to make everything refined so that it protects all of the citizens of Wayne County, those who need rescuing and those who are doing the rescuing. So we hang our hat on that, and with your experience as a fireman, we're looking forward to you guiding us through that, and we appreciate that.
Mr.
Thank you.
King?
Comments. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The schedule today was enlightening in being able to guess, explain ourselves in a way that the governance should be explained. I sit here and look at that American flag as I'm talking, and what that represents is that each of us, though it's not easy sitting in an elected position seat, it's not easy, and it's not easy sometimes personally, and it certainly isn't easy on the family when you have what some might call sparring matches, but that's political, and it's all part of politics, is that you represent a group of people. Today, there was representation of an urgency to have communication with people who are out saving lives. And we have a staff that is putting together the best that they know what to do with. But there has to be leaders in every decision made. And today, as commissioners, I hope we've proven that we are the leaders in this county, and we can sit up here and we can go at it, and we can do what is right for the people of this county. And that's what all of us, I hope, and I feel like in my heart that we have in us, is that we want to do what's right for the people of the county. It has nothing to do with politics. Even though you sit back and watch how the votes go, some might think, well, you know, that's just politics, but it's not. It's about the people. And we've discussed it in length today. I commend one of the commissioners saying it's not funny. He's exactly right. It's not funny. We're dealing with people, and it's not politics. So with that too, because we all know what's being reported as our county manager's taken administrative leave, it doesn't mean that the county stops business. It doesn't mean that the employees are stopping what they're doing. We are the leaders of this county, and the county managers take the direction from the commissioners. We've been elected at 6 districts and 1 at-large member, covering 122,000 people in this county. And we're responsible for everybody, even though we have individual districts, all but one. So we know what our job is. We know what we do as far as policies, and we set policies, and we certainly have, I think, a great direction from each other in our individual gifts. So in my comment section, I do want to comment that I am concerned about our schools. We've been talking about our schools for a number of months, and we are not finished. It's something that we do not need to lay to the side. We need to bring the schools to the forefront to get these kids into these school buildings that have been promised to the citizens of this county. Through our meetings that we've had, through all of the conversations and things that we have done up here on this board last year, in the year 2013, just because we have a little hiccup in the road right now as far as internal unbalance, doesn't mean that we stop doing what we're doing. I have, in the past 2 or 3 months, I've asked, well, you know, where do we go? Each month we got together, and where do we go from here? Where do we go from here? And there's been discussions about tax increases or tax rate as far as sales tax increases or bonds. And I took it upon myself a couple of months ago, or maybe it was last month, I can't remember now, time's going by so fast, to ask Mr. Parker if he would just get the protocol of how this county needs to move forward as far as bonds. There is a protocol. As we've seen, Wake County has passed a huge bond referendum for their school and their education process. Johnston County has just launched a bond, and these bonds just don't happen overnight. You have to, as you know, Mr. Chairman, and the rest of the board, we have to lay out groundwork for this. And you, according to Mr. Parker's response to me and having Mr. Thomas Lee respond to him under Womble, Carlisle, Sandridge, and Rice, he's provided a calendar of events leading to a bond referendum for a May primary, if that's what the county commissioners would want. In putting together a calendar, Mr. Lee says we use the regularly scheduled meeting dates for the school board and the county commissioners. If the decision is made to proceed, and on that schedule, some decisions would need to be made fairly soon. But it is not too late to start. And this, of course, I received this December 23rd, 2 days before Christmas. If we were to use special meetings for some of the actions, certainly several weeks could be shaved off the calendar. The key date is March the 17th. the date that absentee ballots are to be available. The action by the commissioners to adopt a bond order or call the referendum must be done before that date. If you wish, give me a call to discuss the various actions of this email. And then, of course, he's laid out a January the 6th all the way through June 8th of a protocol or list of what the commissioners, basically, according to this consultant, is to take place. So with that said, on my comment section is that I know there's a lot of people talking and the county can't go on. It can, it does. And this is a good governance. Wayne County's a great county. It's great people. And I don't want to see just a little hiccup keep us from doing our job. And what, Mr. Chairman, you know, what we're faced with now is the schools. The people are expecting schools, particularly in the Grantham area. They're expecting a school. We're pushing for that in District 4. And the board chair, Mr. Grantham, has expressed to me that he wants to move forward on this. So, you know, I'd like to see this be put on the forefront, and get it on the radar, and let's move forward at our next meeting. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. King. Mr. Mayor?
Real short, just like to say we've had a good meeting today. I got the questions that I had were answered really well, and I just hope and pray that, you know, whenever the contract is signed with RCC in 8 months from that date or whatever, whenever that switch is pulled, that everything works well, everybody's satisfied with it, and that's what my prayer is. And but the last 3 or 4 months, I as a commissioner have sort of gotten back to my roots, and when I say that, I'm saying as county commissioner in my district, which is District 1, I'd like to encourage all us commissioners to try to keep hands-on and keep in contact with people in your districts and municipalities, because I can tell you across this county, there's issues on the ground that we as commissioners can help residents and also citizens and also municipalities. So we need to keep our thumb on these everyone that's in our district and be available to the needs of the people in our district. Sometimes we can get off on a tangent and start looking at the big picture, what's going on the state level or whatever, and sort of forget about what our calling is, and that's to the citizens of our district and to watch over them. So I'm just asking that we as commissioners maybe take a look at where we are for this new year and get back to basics is what I say. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Mr. Dyer?
Just some quick comments. We all inherited a problem with our communication system, and that matter has been studied, and we have gone out and reached out to get private consultants to come in, analyze it, find out what we can do to improve our communication system for all of our first responders. We all know that there is an issue. We all know that we need to resolve it. A plan was proposed. As best that plan moving forward would do a few things, not only enhance the system, but it also integrates some of the enhancements to the systems that would be required anyway in 2018. So some of the dollars we're spending today are actually being spent in advance so that we can also improve the communication system and abide by some regulations coming about. But all that said, no system's going to be perfect. We all have to recognize that. No system's going to give you 100% coverage in all buildings. What we want to have, though, is the best coverage that we can get for our first responders and for our citizens. The best system that we can get for our dollar. And I'm convinced that in listening to the consultant, listening to our staff, listening to all the hard work for the last year, over a year, that's been put into resolving this, I respect their decision on it, and I think it's time that we move forward. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Mr. Doherty. I just got a few comments. One, I should have made, during commissioners' reports, as all of y'all know, we have hired a new EMS director. He started yesterday. Mel, you may have to help me with his last name. Andrew Coquero?
Coquero is how I understand.
Okay. He comes to us from Edgecombe County. We met yesterday afternoon, about 4 o'clock with the staff and supervisors. And I really think he's gonna be an asset to the county. I think he's gonna take the bull by the horns and go with it. He started his career in Harnett County, then many years in Johnson County, and then Edgecombe County, and I'm excited about some of his ideas that our EMS program is going to move forward. And also, I'm not going to touch much on the radio system. I think we've been dotting I's and crossing T's for a right good while. Appreciate all the input. I really appreciate what OES staff has done. Mr. Parker has put a lot of hours in it. We just, I think we're at the point that we're going to move forward. Hope Mr. Parker has some answers by Thursday, and we can nail this one to rest, and we can take some of the other issues that we've got on our plate and deal with them. And most important, the role that I'm filling right now is an honor. I really appreciate the other commissioners. Well, maybe I don't appreciate them putting me in this position. But anyhow, it's a great honor. But I want to give the staff the credit. I mean, not only on the 4th floor, but the staff of the whole county. Everybody has bent over backwards to help me. I have not asked anyone for advice or guidance that I didn't get it. The staff can make you look good. They got a big job to make me look good, but I just want to thank them for all of the hard work that they're putting in for Wayne County. And that's my comments. Anyone else have anything? I have a motion.
No,
I'm sorry.
Motion to recess.
I forgot.
please don't. I think
I'm
it's
just ready to go. I move that we go into recess and reconvene at 5 o'clock Thursday.
I have a motion on the floor that we recess until 5 o'clock Thursday afternoon. Any discussion? All in favor, show your right hand.